All right, the second one is Mr. Benfatti at 251 Washington. Mark, you represent yourself on this one? Let me find it. 251 Benfatti. I have, it's a renovation expansion on the right rear side. I'm gonna look at my notes and then open it for discussion. Okay, I remember this one, yes.
Yeah.
It's a
Little bitty
non,
driveway comes in.
Mark
curves
Benfatti,
right
yeah,
back.
513 Dunbar Court. It's just a 9x10 addition, and we're putting in a, master bathroom.
Yeah.
On the back right corner of the house.
It's the third time we've seen this house in, commission.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
did- They did,
Can't be
they
very
did, they
big
did
at
a
They did the little,
Nice.
shed in the
It's
back
not-
and stuff like that.
The house has kinda got that little indentation, we just gonna square it off.
okay,
It needed another bathroom.
Square it off.
okay, squared off. Now, Mark, your drawing don't show adding any windows.
Well, there's nothing that we have to have egress for, because it's just a bathroom,
Okay,
so.
but as you know, any windows are gonna need to match what's existing,
there?
which appear to be, well, a fixed window that I can see in this, appear to be 6/6. If you add a window.
Window.
You're not
Yeah, and
showing
I don't-
windows.
I don't think we have any windows drawn in it.
One, maybe two, what's this?
No, I don't think he's got it.
Oh, this
No.
is the only thing that's adding right here?
Yeah.
Says, this says addition, that's what I'm saying. Just the bathroom is all you're doing?
Yes.
Okay, I see it, the existing,
I think one of the pages had the pictures of the house.
yeah.
It's just the back corner was a 9x10 area. He wants to add that bathroom, tie it into the mat.
Okay, and you do have it listed here, match existing hardy siding,
mhm.
match existing roof pitch, and obviously shingles to match existing, so,
Yes.
alright. Discussion?
Discussion.
None.
I move we accept it.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Dave Wessinger to take it, to accept it as presented. We have a second by Ms. Patty. Like to vote the motion?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
It's easy when you have a full package. The next one is,
Mark Benfatti.
is it Mark Benfatti?
Hanging around.
Thank y'all.
327 Carroll?
Thank you. No, 128 Washington Street.
That's when you already got the field.
Put the dirt there, yeah. We had to move
Yeah.
some trees.
New house,
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, there's
it's an empty
there's
lot there.
Thank you. Dirt.
I mean, I know I went by it, I just don't see it on my list.
Yeah,
To see,
right there.
Yeah.
new construction.
Yeah, it's new.
You moving in there?
Well, they're right there in front of me, okay.
Third, there, we just did that little subdivision.
I'm on Dunbar right now, yeah.
Right.
But we wanted to move
Oh,
a
yeah, okay.
little bit more.
Alright. What we got here?
The new.
You got a good site plan. One of the few of them that submitted this time actually had a site plan.
I think y'all got cold train. But that's my draft. Yeah.
Okay. Alright,
All looks good.
I'm gonna let y'all ask questions for, I got some notes to ask about.
You're gonna have, true divided light or simulated divided light windows, if that's what's required.
You-
Simulated
Ray-
divided light?
Ray's Mullen.
Right, yeah, I think yeah, it's Marvin Windows, yeah, they'll be great.
Making a mess. No, I don't have that in mind.
And they are 2/2 is what you're showing, which is, yeah.
2/2.
The shutters, you show louvered shutters on, I guess that's the front elevation.
Washington Street, just on the porch, I believe.
Yes, they're on the porch. Are those just gonna be shutters covering the windows all the time? Are they storm shutters that you open and close?
On the right side of the house you're
Yes,
looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just fake, shutters, just for aesthetic. That's a closet behind there, but we just wanted to fill the wall. So we actually build them out of hardy board, make them look like a shutter, but it's really just aesthetics only.
Okay,
So
so they,
there'll be no shutters on the left side to balance it out?
No,
That'll just be
not on the
windows.
porch, just that, we just tried to fill that wall to kind of give it a
Okay.
prettier look.
Okay,
you know, one of our criteria is we like them to be operational or appear operational, so you need to put some fake hinges up there too.
Oh, we can do that, yeah.
They need to appear to be operational. If they close all the time, they stay shut, that's fine, but they need to look like you can open
Okay,
them.
gotcha.
So your access is off Hancock? You
No.
got an alley through there in the back?
Mm-mm.
It
No.
will be. We're gonna have a driveway on Washington, but we own a lot next door,
Right.
and we had that little garage, and it's got 20-some feet. Yeah, we will be able to kind of sneak behind that garage.
Looking at the.
Yeah,
Well,
we're actually gonna have 2 access.
Considering your garage is all the way to the back. You
Yeah,
got-
that'll come in off the hand.
Okay, I see what you're talking about, Dave. Okay,
We got a his and her drop.
I'm not gonna ask any more about that.
I'm not
Alright.
People who can't.
Why
back
not?
out.
You could go right
You
around.
gotta keep going.
I'd be accused of things that my daughter says that I get fired for nowadays. Information on the fence and the carport. We don't have much of what you're gonna do on the carport, Mark. And there is a fence there somewhere, 'cause
There's an existing fence behind me that just went through approval for, Rob Bonifants. And he had put up the wrong fence, and I think y'all modified it. And then on the left side, there's just a page fence. So
okay.
I might talk to Miss Mary on that side to see if she wants to upgrade the fence.
Now, you obviously are building this garage,
Yes, sir.
and we have no details on the garage. All I got is the site plan saying you got a garage coming. I'm just gonna make a note that
Yeah.
shingles, siding.
It would be similar to the house.
Roof,
It's gonna be-
roofing, siding, windows, if any, need to match the new house.
And carriage.
Oh, and if you're gonna have a door,
You want
garage
some
door?
hinges and all that.
yeah, you
looks-
gotta have
yeah,
the carriage door.
Right.
Right, I'm gonna make that note.
Okay. So if we have a detached garage, you want details on both buildings.
Well, you like to know that you're not gonna put up something with a tin shed, you know. I know you're not gonna do that, but we like to be consistent, you know. Materials to match house.
the V-groove metal is a 5V crimp,
We're probably gonna do standing seam.
standing seam?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause it says V-groove, it should be the 5V crimp, standing seam, or low profile, or corrugated.
Yeah, he probably put 5V, but I think we've made a decision to go with the standard seam. It looked the same, it's just one's got the screws and one's done.
You'd better off with some screws in it. Tell you from dealing with Jackson Mutual Insurance Company.
You know, we found, just a comment, some cases we've approved, a historic district and, gets built and then you go back and you see that it's a long style metal roof.
No, I
There's no
understand.
going back.
Yeah, no.
So we have to make sure that they comply with the guidelines.
Yeah. We're familiar with the type that y'all expect, but yeah.
Yeah.
The 5V and the standard seam have the same appearance, but one's screwed down and one's just screwed on the edge.
On the edge. All right, other discussion?
Make sure that we have the, assimilated divided light or true divided light windows.
Yes, I think we asked about that already.
Okay. Carriage.
Have the note, the carriage style garage door and materials on the garage to match the house.
Make that motion that we,
The hinges.
uh,
Oh,
Yes,
hinges.
hinges on the shutters, yes.
we accept the new construction as presented with, the addition of the, adding the carriage style,
Yes.
um,
With the
Garage
carriage style
door.
garage door,
and ensure that they have SDL or true divided light windows. And the louvered shutters to appear operational.
okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bazoo. I have a second by Dave. Vote the motion.
Aye.
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 Mark, just as a general note, the other things, tell you guys, we didn't have a side view or rear views of the house. typically like to see those, and obviously the garage.
Okay.
But other than that, it's a good application. All right, SDL windows, hinges on shutters, carriage style garage door. We voted motion?
We did.
Okay,
Yeah, we-
yeah, we did, I thought so.
I got the notes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Carriage style garage door, and then garage to match house. Alright, next one on the agenda, I had jumped it. 327 Carroll.
Yes, sir.
Peter,
My name
how
is
do you pronounce your last name, sir?
Tufaro.
Tufaro?
Yes, sir. We recently purchased this house, my wife and I, and we're looking to renovate it to look similar to the older style houses. I submitted some drawings. We had initially done some work on the garage. We were permitted. I brought some pictures of the garage. This was the original garage. You don't have them.
Yeah.
And this is the garage that we
Okay, yeah,
turned
we
it
seen
into.
the garage, I seem to remember that now.
Right.
You elevated the bottom wall, picked the whole thing up.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
5'10" and we couldn't get in. So we did a good job with the garage and
Looks good.
kind of brought it to what we thought the
Mhm.
neighborhood would appreciate.
Good.
We wish to do the same with the house,
Mhm.
and I did kind of a pace-click rendering of what we expect the front to do. I attached a survey to show that there's, a current survey to show that there's ample room for the porch to come forward and not infringe on the servitudes. And we want to proceed to have plans drawn and everything as per this, but I don't want to go down that road if it's not going to be acceptable.
Oh, okay, so you understand right now, you're only asking for a conceptual review?
Correct.
Oh, okay,
That's what
That's-
we're
that's-
looking for, a conceptual review so we can go forward
well,
to get plans.
okay.
We know we need plans, but I don't want to go down that road if you say, no, this can't
No,
happen.
Okay, let's open the discussion then. Thank you for that clarification, because,
Excuse me, this,
Go ahead, discussion.
your example picture here has a screen porch. Are you planning on making? No screen porch. You're just gonna be, have the front porch come across.
Correct. We're gonna
Yeah.
carry the porch the entire way forward.
This is the house down the street. Are you gonna add a dormer?
Yes. Now, I don't know if it'll be a 2-window or a 3. We're gonna do what we feel would be aesthetically appropriate once we size it to the house. We put the standing seam roof of 24 gauge on the garage, and we plan on doing the same for the house. If you look and see, I have shutters on there. I do want shutters, and I do want them to be fully functional, because I know the value of them when a weather event comes.
I'm gonna let it ring.
So,
Other than that, the house should remain approximately the same footprint, other than the porch in the front.
This is the mayor, y'all.
Now you're gonna, and
mayor.
you're gonna leave that,
Right,
overhang on the right-hand side?
Well, I don't know exact, the carport, yes, that's there, we're not gonna change that.
Okay, all right.
Um,
it looks great.
Okay, so, why don't you, I'm gonna write these notes down, and we're gonna give you a conceptual approval on what you're telling us. Based on what you tell us in these photographs, is that you're gonna replace the roof with a standing seam roof, which, you know, you can,
Matches the garage, he already did.
to match the garage, okay?
And all the same, so it won't have the.
Right, and the whole house, I'm gonna take, it has like a weatherboard that's got a curved in it, which was common in the 50s.
Yeah.
I wanna go back with the full 8-inch hardy board around the entire house.
Yeah.
So we're gonna renovate the house, you know, Actually, we're doing it backwards. We're making the house match the garage.
I think right now you got vinyl, I think you got vinyl siding on it right now.
Yes, I wanna take that off and I wanna put hardy board.
Very good.
Now, on the room ups,
The dormers.
you're gonna put an actual room up there? that
No.
you could-
No, there's not enough room to put a room.
Okay, so you're not gonna raise the roof up?
Well, the roof may be raised, and that's what the architect's gonna have to tell me, and the engineer, to get the appearance, cause if not, I'm gonna end up with possibly a 212 or a 312.
Right.
So they may carry the rear rafters forward and change the ridge to give me the appropriate slope. But I don't know that until I talk to the engineer and the architect. Now, it may not look 100% exactly like this picture, because they have to engineer it. But this is what we're going to him with, to say, this is what we want. We want a porch in the front, 9 to 10 foot, and we want it to have a little small step, 6 inches to 1 foot, with 2 roof lines and a dormer. We do want to change the windows on the front to be full length, because I think they would look better on the porch. My wife fully agrees with that. That's her comment. And if you look at the rendering, it doesn't show it, but this section here is actually stepped back, which is there now. That
Yeah.
little
Right.
section's a step back,
Yeah, we can
so the porch would
Mhm.
go back to meet it.
I have a question. What are you planning to do with the carport?
Nothing.
Nothing. Leave it like it is? Okay.
Nothing. I like it.
The little carport, and I don't, is that a metal carport?
Yes. And it works fine.
Yeah, so you not, no change to the existing metal carport?
Nope.
All the
Nope.
garage, right.
Detach it to change the siding and reattach it with proper flashing.
I'm gonna read,
Yeah.
yes, I'm gonna read these notes.
And we're kind of looking for input.
Good.
An
The
actual
plans.
render.
Yes.
We're looking for input so we can avoid delays back and forth
Yes.
between historical and,
And
Actually, yeah.
and,
Build-
and
build design.
engineering. I'm familiar with historical. I've done buildings in New Orleans
Well,
on Canal Street.
Dave,
You know,
spent a lot of his
I know what's
younger days.
required, and
thank you. These are the things I'm hearing that you're gonna be doing, is you're gonna replace existing roof with a standing seam roof, which will match the garage, which you recently redid.
right,
You're gonna replace the vinyl siding with hardy board. Possible changes to the roof line. Porch added in the front,
And a dormer,
And then-
and dormers on the roof line.
one dormer.
One dormer,
No,
but
one dormer.
Said he
could be
doesn't
a
have
2
any
or
windows.
3, could be 2 or 3 windows. It,
Yeah.
right.
Right now, it's.
One
on the side.
dormer in the roof line. You got a 6 to 12 inch step on the front porch.
New windows in the front.
I don't know what you mean, 6 to 12 inch.
Well, that's what I heard. That's why I go over this. The porch, and you're gonna have steps up to the porch?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be 6. I think
Okay.
maybe 3 or 4.
I'm gonna write
Right.
step to the front
Steps.
porch.
Yeah.
Alright, no changes to the carport or garage, and that's existing. Alright, that pretty well capture the,
He said windows.
Yes.
windows, you said
The
something
win-
about windows.
He said
Well,
windows.
we're
I-
changing the windows from the small windows that are there now to full length.
But there are gonna be 6 over 6.
Looks 4/4, 2/2, huh?
That's
Yep.
on
We like the taller window. And we don't,
the existing.
we don't have any discretion on the mullions or size, so whatever you recommend, we'll go with.
What,
They have to appear,
these, you come forward, sir, these are showing what's known as 2/2, 2 bottom, 2 tops. And as long as, that's very
But
acceptable,
you're changing from this.
but you change from 6/6. And that's fine, you're just putting in the full length windows
Okay.
and operational shutters.
And this side here, this is just a picture of this, but this one here, this is the kitchen, so these are gonna be cut off right here.
Oh, okay.
This is actually the house up the street.
Yes, 416, I
The window
sort
we're
of,
gonna, this is what we're doing.
okay,
So if you wanna refer, this is more accurate as to what we're doing.
okay. The second, the black and white drawing.
yeah, I'm.
See, 'cause 35 or 36.
Yes, so you got plenty.
So
Okay,
the architect will tell us, and the engineer will tell us what the proper setbacks are, but I believe they're 25. from-
25 foot if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Right.
so you have,
25.
you have room. All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Dave Wessinger to accept as presented with the, descriptions that have been provided.
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Patty. You vote the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. I appreciate
you.
yeah, because one of my notes was, man, I got 3 photographs and.
And
don't have
that's
a
it.
Don't have a good written explanation of what you want to do, so.
Well,
Thank you very much.
we didn't want to enter an
No,
agreement
and-
with an architect if we were going down a rabbit hole.
And don't hesitate, Mary Ann can get a hold of me and I can get a hold of these guys, as I told, the other fella. We can't take a vote on it
No.
outside of the meeting. But
I'll-
because we discussed it in the morning, we can, if you say, well, we're thinking about doing this, we can try to say, yeah, we'll very likely approve that, cause, so,
I didn't get your name.
I'm sorry, it's Cliff, C-L-I-F-F, Rabelais, R-A-B-A-L-A-I-S.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, John, Ed, would you do us a favor, since he has to recuse himself on this, and I know you are one of my alternates? Just,
We have 4.
what's that?
She said we have 4.
We have 4, we don't need it.
Well, if you don't need it.
I don't really
Yeah,
need
you
it, but
don't
just,
need
I like to have,
He might reject.
yeah, All right, Miss, Glenn, no, Mr. Glenn and Miss Paulette Boney?
Boney.
Okay, for the demolition of a shed, which I think has been discussed here and at P and Z and at City Council
Yes.
before, at 203 Union Street,
Yeah.
and the addition of a side porch, a bath, and with a small living room.
Well, we're not adding a bath. What we're doing is we're gonna enlarge it.
Oh,
Once we
okay.
put,
Okay,
The existing
we're just
bath-
gonna move an outside wall into the room that we're adding on to make it bigger for my husband, and he's
Yes.
disabled. So we're trying to get him comfortable.
okay. You have a site plan from the Geo Portal.
I have a full set, I guess.
The big, okay.
Take a look.
Biggest thing I didn't see, John,
Uh-huh.
was the information on the materials
I
and
drew it.
drawings, but you know,
I noted on the second drawing, it says new screen porch with 5 V-current roof, hardy siding.
okay. New screen board, hardy siding, new screen board, okay, you're right.
From
You-
existing to,
that- All right,
the new.
pretty straightforward, if we know the materials are gonna match.
Right.
Any discussion? Discussion, gentlemen? Patty?
I do not.
And windows will not be reused,
That's correct, but the existing door will be reused, which has some, you have a picture of it.
Yes.
Show the picture of it.
yes, that's the old
And-
style glass door with all the multi-plane panes.
And then only new windows are gonna be a linear 1 by, whether it's 1 by 3, 1 by 8,
And
Two-
those are
two-
just gonna be on the back of the house,
yeah, in the back of
which
the
all I
house.
have
you're
is
not really
like
gonna see
2
it when
feet
you
out
go.
there.
They're not operable, they're just gonna be glass, to let the light in at a higher.
We're gonna have a window in the storage, the little small room that's at the back of the
Yes.
porch.
Mhm.
I'll have a window in that.
Yeah, linear, it's just a linear window, 1 by 3.
Oh, okay, just a fixed window?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
It might be decorative too, if you find one.
okay. Discussion? Patty?
I have none.
Okay. Any discussion on demoing the shed? All right, can I get a motion?
I make a motion to accept.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Patty to accept as presented for the demolition of the shed and the
Removal of the tree.
renovation / addition to the rear. Have a second by Mr. Dave Wessinger. Vote the motion.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
No, that demo in that shed's not gonna be met with, any opposition. I know it was a topic of discussion. Let's just leave it at that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion, this is for 346 St. George Street. Approve application for addition of a carport to the side of the residence. Carport, okay. This is at 346 St. George, okay. Is there anyone here to represent that? Anyone that's opposed to it? We're gonna move that to the end.
To the end.
Next one I have is,
33 St. John.
333 St. John. Motion to approve the application of addition of a front porch, addition of family room, screen porch to the rear of the residence, add a lean-to to the existing shed in the rear of the property. Nancy Horton. Wait a minute, you're not Nancy Horton, I know you.
I am not Nancy Horton, I'm Allison Anderson, the
That's-
architect.
Okay, let me see what I got.
So this house was built in the 1930s. It had a very kind of seat of the pants addition in the 1950s of a family room, which was on a slab. The main house is about 18 inches above the ground. We are asking to demolish the 1950s era addition and the carport, which sticks out into the setback currently, and to put a new carport and family room at the same level as the original house, using a gable roof and using the same materials, the party board, the metal roof, and the gable of a similar kind of slope. Currently, the house, the carport, this is the back. It has a very different kind of shed roof.
Yep, okay.
I know we've been putting pictures of the back, but
Oh,
I just
Lord,
want to show you
okay.
the original,
Mm-hmm.
the current condition of that
Right.
addition. So the house will have a gable, but it'll be sort of an intersecting gable, as you can see from the drawing. And the carport will be basically in line with the house, rather than poking out towards St. John.
Okay.
You're gonna put the carport on the same side it is now, except.
Same
you're
side,
putting it back.
And we're gonna maintain the same setback. I know we have to go to planning and zoning because we'd like to keep the original setback, or the current setback, but we will have to go through planning and zoning to get permission for that because it is closer than 5 feet to the side,
Okay, on the side.
on the side,
Side.
yeah.
2 feet 7
So
inches
it's
now.
existing,
It is existing about 3 feet away,
okay.
or somewhat less than that.
And adding a deeper porch?
We are adding a porch. There is a tiny porch right now
Let's see.
on the front. It's just kind of
Oh,
an entrance
yes.
porch. You can see in the drawing. It's just basically a landing. She would like to have a porch along the entire front
Front.
of the house. We were designing it in such a way that it kind of just matches the rest of the modest little cottage that it is. In the back, the shed is currently existing. It's a funky little place. It is a tin shed,
That, yeah.
but it exists that way.
Mhm.
So what we would like to do,
Yeah, we have that. But what didn't make sense was
Yeah.
where you're looking like a single slope roof, or is that gonna extend the gable
we're
type roof?
I don't know what that is. I don't know who drew that on there. We are extending the gable out
Yeah,
just a
it's
little
like,
bit further
it's
from
like
the porch.
that almost looked like you were gonna put a lean-to coming this way.
No, we're extending the gable straight out.
Okay,
On this. This is the existing porch. We're gonna rebuild this wall,
Okay.
because it's not really structurally
Hey, this
code.
is the carport.
No,
no, that's a little
This is-
garage in
this
this
is the new
little
shed.
shed in the
This is
back.
the new shed back
this
here?
is the new shed.
The shed in
This is
the
where
in the
we're
back right here.
extending this out. You
Oh.
can see it.
They-
Another drawing.
Yeah, I
They
know.
have a site plan so you can figure it
No, I
out.
know, I figured that out. I got it.
Coming-
Yeah.
coming that out.
Oh, I see. That's what that is.
Bringing that out.
I got you. All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Just the same footprint, just bringing it out. Not
Okay.
enclosing it, just a little open area
Sure.
back there.
Okay.
Looks good.
You've answered most of my.
Yeah.
So the existing these were some of my comments. The existing carport is gonna be removed.
It will be
You
removed.
answered that question.
A new carport will be set back.
Existing windows, what I'm showing are 6/6 and.
There's no changes to the front.
Okay, cause I saw somewhere it showed like a 3/1, which I
yeah.
thought was most unusual.
There
That's in the
are
render.
3/1s in this project already. They exist
Oh, they
on the front.
existing,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, 301.
All the front windows,
Yeah,
except for that little tiny one, but the large windows are 3/1.
yeah.
But
sure
those
are.
are staying.
Those are staying. Oh, sorry, you're looking at the new plan.
Yeah.
The front elevation isn't changing. We're not changing any windows along there.
Okay.
Those are 3/1s.
Matt had called me, I don't know, a while back, and quite honestly,
Okay.
3/1's kind of a oddball.
They're
But
there.
if
We're
they're
not changing
there,
them.
that's fine.
Yeah,
But-
we're not changing them.
Sir,
Okay, you're changing the double windows on the right side to an entryway to like a French doors?
We were thinking that would be good. She would be
Right.
able to access the porch for her
Mm-hmm.
morning coffee.
Okay.
But if that's not acceptable, we can
No,
take
it's
that.
fine. That's it. I'm just saying that
Mhm.
that was not discussed. Okay.
yeah, and you know the appropriate style. It's-
Mhm.
Yeah. Looks good.
All right. I'm gonna go down the line. Matt, discussion?
No, I think it's beautiful.
Very
Dave?
nice.
It's a nice transformation.
Patty?
Like it?
John?
No
I get
comment?
a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the plan as
I'll
submitted.
second it.
I have a motion by Mr. John Bazoo to accept as presented. I have a second by Mr. Matt Stifle. I'd like to vote the motion.
Aye.
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 Thanks
That's fine.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This pre-existing non-conforming, they don't like it, but they generally are not gonna make them move the house. That's what it boils down to. Is that pretty accurate, Ed and John? Pre-existing non-conforming, they don't like it, but they usually live with it. The side yard.
We're gonna quote you
The
on
si-
For the one we just did?
The one we just did, yeah,
Yeah, the
they're,
side yard?
yeah, side yard.
Well, if, that's a different story.
That's the
It's-
question on here. If they demolish that side of the
Yeah,
building.
we just went through that on the one I did. Yeah.
They,
Right. Right.
I think that's, they're going from a carport to a carport.
Well,
yes, but there's.
they'll have
transition
some,
period in there.
they'll have some good reason to do what they're doing. And when I was with Ms. Boney, just to elaborate on that, we were on a non-conforming lot because they were 2 feet from the property line in the back.
Yes.
And we went to variance, and they allowed the house to be extended along that 2-foot setback line. But we've already since pulled it back 4 feet. Doesn't matter. Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Right. I don't think they have a problem with it. I don't believe.
All right, the next one we have is, 230 to 232 Keller Street. Is that Imborn?
Bonone?
In Benoni.
Bernoni, thank you. I may have talked to somebody
Me.
here about 6 months ago, a year ago.
With the fence.
Yeah, with the fence, and you had an easement from,
Right, so
and.
from Blaze Street, so we're known formerly as 304 Blaze Street, where we accessed the property through Blaze Street, big high house, the VG. And we got permits, we came before you guys, got permits, and since then, long story short, we've acquired the lot at 230 Keller and gave up the easement. And so, in this process, we have come up with this design that I think you have before you, where we have, you know, the front lot
Yes.
and then the rear lot. The little house in the back, I don't know if you can,
The one,
this,
Remove that.
we've contacted Todd Means, who did the house raising down the street. He's actually has a couple of his things there. He's gonna move the house to the back and build another house in addition to it.
So-
That was my
Also,
question. The existing house,
that's the small house.
That's the cottage.
That's the cottage.
That's the cottage. So it's gonna be relocated onto
Onto the
the
rear.
same rear.
that's good.
That's good. That's not a demolition.
No,
It's
no,
not,
we're
it's
not,
not-
dem-
we're
we're
not
not
doing
demolish, we don't
Y'all had-
demolish.
You all had been
Come
approved
out.
by us years ago
Yes.
to go ahead and renovate that particular structure.
Yes,
And nothing ever happened.
Well,
this,
I know.
well, because of the,
easement,
the easement.
Right.
I mean, that's a
we were
whole
having
long
a
story.
difficulty with getting the electricians to put a pole up. They wouldn't get access, or they weren't allowed, no one was allowed to drive up that driveway to help us start the construction. So
I,
a year
So you
later,
actually have two lots there that you combined?
We have
One
not
we have
combined them yet.
combined them.
One,
One's in the rear and then
Right.
one's in the front. There,
the one in the rear had the easement going out to
Correct.
Blaze.
it had.
Yeah.
via somebody
Yeah,
else's driveway.
But, I'm sure those people are darn happy that you,
We've given up the
moving in this
easement, and
direction.
we've switched,
We hope.
basically scrapped that full construction and renovation to the little cottage. And are now hopefully, moving forward with this plan. We'd like to keep the cottage, and just move it from that area to the rear.
Okay,
We like preservation.
that's good. Yeah, I guess I'm privy, since I talked to this gentleman a while back. I can't answer that right now.
Yeah, and we've cleared
I'd
the,
answer the mayor. I'm gonna just sit on it right now.
we've cleared the lots, had them
Yeah.
backfilled and,
They had a accessibility problem, and things worked out where they have resolved it, and you got a better setup here.
Yeah, 'cause
You know, and
Nice.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I think either you or your grandfather or your dad used to do tax sale quite a bit, and I
Yeah,
think
my
we
dad.
talked at length.
Yeah.
Since that's one of my retirement businesses. So, all that being said, since there is no demo of the existing structure, it's a relocation, that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And
I guess one of the questions is, there's no drawing of the structure that's existing.
Yes,
It's
So
the-
on the-
it's
it's
gonna
the last
match-
page.
it's the last page.
Yeah,
Page three.
okay, that's,
It's,
because I was saying, well, what the, now I understand.
that's this little guy.
And their
Okay.
material list is
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
what I'm
small.
accustomed to from
Yeah.
engineering drawings.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
And one thing that's, actually not correct that we noticed this morning is the light scenario on the
On the
windows.
windows.
We're not changing the windows,
We're
and,
keeping
and it's not
existing.
1/1 like that. Whatever it is what we're gonna
Reuse
keep.
existing.
Yes,
We're keeping the
reusing.
windows, I believe they're aluminum windows that are on the house, and we're
Yeah.
just gonna keep them.
are you gonna leave that house oriented like that, or are you gonna turn it?
It's gonna be, it's currently oriented sideways, and we're gonna keep it sideways.
moving
Right, it
it.
runs parallel to.
Yes,
color.
we're just
So-
shifting
Right.
it back.
Yes, so you just
Oh,
want-
into
And if you look at the site plan, it's sort of kinda, the reason it's staying oriented like that is because of the setbacks, the 20 feet and 8 feet. It wouldn't fit if we turned it, and that was something that, you know, the Mr. Means and I went out there and so I can put it here, and wherever you wanna put it.
No, you got the right setbacks, 20 and 8, you got the right setback.
Right.
It was much simpler just to kind of shift it
Sure.
instead of moving it all around.
Okay, what I've got on this cottage is to reuse, gonna move the existing, I guess, I'm gonna say house, but it's the cottage. Add siding and a new roof. Obviously, you got no siding on it right now.
Right,
Add siding, a new roof, and reuse existing windows,
correct.
which makes the cottage, I think, reasonably straightforward.
Right.
And on the main house, I can say, in my opinion, one of the better defined things. The one thing I gotta ask here, let's see, shutters. You have wood shutters listed.
Yes,
And as you've heard before, they have to be operational or appear to be operational.
right, and I think we're gonna, so she has the louvered, and we haven't decided whether we're gonna do the louvered or the barn style, but regardless, they're gonna be, we want wood. And, you know, putting wooden louvered windows is, I'm, not windows,
Wood
shutters. Shutters.
Yeah, no, you can,
Neither one.
the louvered shutters, if they look like wood, even if they're made out of aluminum, if they look painted like wood, I think we allow that.
Okay. Yeah, and they're
They're
gonna.
not any cheaper though, I tell you that.
Right, and they, you know, we understand the concept of making them appear
Yeah.
operational or making them operational.
The same size as the window, that's.
Right.
Right, same size as the,
Window
Right.
like this, yeah.
right, I have
And
the,
we'd like to, have it that way.
yeah, we're probably gonna make them operational unless it's
That would be
cost
my-
prohibitive.
It,
And
by the
that's-
time you
I have
pay
the
for the
aluminum
shutters, it's not that much
look
more to
like
make
wood
them
and then the wood,
operational.
and then
Right.
it's kind of the same.
And,
We'd like to keep them operational.
I'm steady adding shutters to my house.
It makes you feel better.
Shutters. Every
when you
year,
close
we add shutters, we don't get hurricanes.
That's good.
it.
If,
Painted mine and didn't get hurt.
now, we have had, when we're talking about shutters, we have had people come up and say, well, what about Bahama shutters? We generally will allow Bahama shutters, but we would ask that you let us know that's what you're gonna be put on.
I don't know
I don't know what
Bahamas.
Bahama shutters are.
They're the ones that kinda tilt out.
Flip
Oh,
out,
no,
yeah.
we have that at all.
But they're not letting you hoot on the
Flip
front
out, then
porch.
you can
We
see
want
through them.
traditional.
No,
The
Traditional.
traditional, just as on the plan.
you can rule those out.
Okay.
Cause we have those on our office that we moved to just recently, and I can't even,
Yeah.
the screw is stuck, and I'm spraying it with WD-40.
My
and-
neighbor has them and she
Yeah.
can't get them, so we just.
Okay. Matt, any more discussion?
No.
Dave? Patty? John?
I'll make a motion, we accept the plan as presented.
I second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bazoo to accept plan as presented. I have a second by Ms. Patty Keating. I'd like to vote the motion.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you
Thank
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Really
a little,
appreciate
little bit of explanation goes a long way on these.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite figure out what the deal was with the cottage. When you say, well, we're relocating an existing building, that's good.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Very pretty.
let's see, 2:30,
Get started, right?
no, we just did 2:30, 2:32.
343.
343 St. George Street. Ooh, okay.
This is the same
This
thing
is-
that keeps coming back to haunt us.
Yeah, demolition,
Good afternoon. My name's Clinton Doza. How y'all doing today?
pretty good, Clint.
Good, Tim.
You heard some of the previous discussion on demolition.
Yeah, I feel like everything is in line on this one. We've had numerous trees hit throughout the year, large trees, and try to put it back together. And it's slowly falling apart. But listening to the building codes that you guys have, it's along the lines that we want to do anyway. But this is step 1A before I get anybody involved and spend any money. I want to see if we can demolish.
Can I say something?
Yes, please do. Yes.
Let me get my thoughts together because, demolition is definitely a no-no in this case because it's a very historical.
Very historic.
It's very.
Yeah.
Down the block, I was just involved in straightening up that house.
The
that was
white
leaning
one
like
on
that.
that corner, yeah.
Okay. Much worse condition than what you have.
Okay.
I've been on your porch.
Okay.
Years ago, for some reason, I was looking at that with my contractor buddy.
Mhm.
We were asked to do something. How long have you owned the house?
So my
It's been in the family a long time?
my mom's owned it since the 80s, but before that, my great grandmother owned
Right,
it,
so
and
you-
sold it, and we bought it back.
We may have talked to you back
Yeah,
in the day.
very possible.
And honestly, that house can be brought back to life with a lot less than tearing it down and putting a new house there. Absolutely can be done.
Okay.
And you should consider that. I know that you're looking at it and you see this big problem. I see rotten beams, or I see the porch is completely compromised.
Mhm.
The roof is ripping off. But the house is essentially sound, straight. you
Well,
know.
it's
The
actually
foundation,
leaning,
you can look
yeah.
down the side of the house, it's straight. Haven't been in the house. I
Yeah.
guarantee, I can't speak to, the beadboard falling down or this, that, and the other.
Right.
I'm telling you, if you went down St. George
No,
Street.
no, I
on
know the
400,
house that you're
walk
talking
in that house. And all we've done is to try to save that house for the future of this family that wants to preserve it.
Okay.
And it's not even in the historic district, but it was built in 1860.
Yeah, I think mine was like 1890.
Yeah, right.
I
1890.
understand.
Well,
Yeah.
down the block is where her family grew up in that area.
Right.
Not only that, St. George, but also on your block, they have family that still lives there. And, you know, we're all about preservation.
Mhm.
If you haven't considered that, I mean, I know it's not.
We've considered many times, and it just keeps getting hit with different things. And
Well, here's
so, and it is leaning though on the side, but I mean, nothing that.
Well, here's the catch-22. The real reason I want to say something is because we've been burned a couple of times. We just approved the demolition of a house on Sycamore Street. Only if the new owners had a building permit and a valid plan. They invested the money in a new plan, and they had a valid building permit. Once that was all in place, demo to your heart's content and rebuild the new one. So,
Is that something that I should address? Oh,
well,
my parents-
let me finish.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
They came crying and said, okay, we gotta demolish it because we can't get insurance on it. And they went to city council and overrode us, okay? It's demolished. Now they're flipping that frickin' lot that they paid $330 something in a house
Mhm.
and selling it for 400,000+.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
they sold
A nice flip. But what clout do we have? The only clout we have is what we have our guidelines. It said we were here for preservation, and that house begs to be restored. It
Yeah.
begs it. I mean, like I said, I've been there, and I mean, I'm not gonna speak to Matt. Matt bought a house on Valentine.
Mhm.
And it, it was in much worse shape than what you're talking. I think in a lot of cases, I mean, didn't even have the roof, had to be completely redone.
Yeah.
Everything. We brought his house back to life, and we spent, I think, a reasonable amount of money before you finally, eventually, you lived in it, and you sold it, and you made money on it. That's fine, but he was willing to live in the house, and it's a
Well,
family home, and you'd
My
like to live
parents are looking to retire there, and that's why I'm
And-
trying to get this taken care of for them.
And really, you can make that house livable in such a minimal cost. I mean, you tear that down, you're putting a new one up, you're not gonna spend,
Well-
you're gonna spend 300,000 plus.
Can I interject here?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna reiterate something that he said. It goes against our guidelines to tear it down.
I understand.
We just had a situation where they tried to prove the house was not viable. This house is in much, much worse condition than the one at 126 Sycamore Street.
I know.
You could probably go around us and get somebody else to say you can tear it down and
Yeah.
rebuild it, and you probably could.
Well,
But we try to discourage it because we like to have the houses saved, and, you know, it is what it is.
I understand completely, and look, if I thought it was feasible to rebuild, and again, my parents are retiring in December, and I wanted to get them here into the house. Again, it's my mom's very, her whole family, she spent summers here her whole life, and her family grew up here, and it's sentimental to her.
Sure.
She doesn't necessarily want to tear it down, but the wood is petrified, so it's really hard to screw or nail into anything. And then it has a lot of termite damage that we've torn off some stuff, and then it's plaster, so it's not, that's all crumbling, which we wanted to keep, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but it's really just a shell. And then the shell is falling apart. So that's why, I felt like, and again, if it's not approved, that's fine. We'll go down another road. But my idea was to put something, they have a new construction next door, but my idea was to put something historical there anyway, like, fit the mold and make it nice and the community a little bit better. So,
How do we feel about him coming back with plans and
Okay,
a permit
that's what I'm
to
saying.
build and show us what you're gonna do, so we
Yeah.
know what you're gonna build, and then we're just gonna say, okay,
Let me
tear it down and build
give
this,
you
and
a
we're
little
okay
bit
with it.
better news.
I know you have a conceptual
have
thing of
some-
a house, but it's
yeah.
something more
Well, that
specific.
was just to get to step A.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Clint, let me, because I can tell you, Mr. Wessinger is more hardline preservationist than John or even Matt. So I can assure you that Mr. Wessinger is not in favor of demo in the house. However, in the interest of what's the best for Bay St. Louis, and I deal with city council and the mayor and a lot, I don't like seeing them tore down, but I can tell you what we would reluctantly probably approve. I'm not gonna say we will, because it depends on what we have had done in the past, and, we had an architect recently come in with a house on Nikkei Street that was in bad shape.
Mhm.
What he presented to us was what he was going to build.
Okay.
And what he was gonna build was pretty much the same footprint and a very similar architectural style. And we swallowed hard and approved it, and he had to go to city council and he had to go to P&Z because the existing house had some, what we call
Non-conforming setbacks.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Nice,
easy
yeah.
non-conforming.
pre-existing
we-
non-conforming setback, which you may or may not have, I
Yeah,
don't know.
we have some issues. We don't have much of a
I think
spot
so.
to put it.
But
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
if
think
you
so. I
were
think
to
it's
come
plenty room, huh?
come to us with this is what we're gonna build, and it, in essence, replicates the historic house that is there, even though the historic house is there is in really bad shape. Yes, anything can be rebuilt.
Mhm.
Timing wise, there's no way you can get it done by December.
No, I know.
Okay.
I just wanted to get the ball.
But if you can present us something that we can say, yes, this replicates what was there.
Doesn't have to be exact, but if it's a nod or looks similar in vein to what is there now, it makes it much more palatable for us. And it could be a beautiful house. I mean,
Yeah.
So a couple of quick questions while we're here.
Yeah.
The current house, the porch was added on, to the house, and it was spread out. I think that would be, make an open porch and put a screen porch more to the back, just
Sure.
it was extra. In the back room is a kitchen that was added in the like 70s, I think, and it's fallen off the back of the house, so
I
it's,
did notice
you know,
that.
yeah,
That works.
I mean, it's a 2-room house with, really, it had a wood stove and it didn't even have a kitchen before, so, it's pretty, I mean, but I think we would have to go on the same exact footprint, because we have a lot on the side and the back,
weird
and
shaped lot, yeah.
there's no access to it unless you put the house almost exactly where this one is and build almost the exact same house. With the exception of the porch, we would put a front porch on it, square it off. But that would be,
If you presented something of that nature that replicates that, I don't know, I can't speak for the whole council, and I know I've got a couple of guys, John and Dave for sure, that, and I don't really like demoing, but
I understand.
if for the city, we end up with a house that presents the historic appearance, if it presents a good, viable house, it's gonna fast. Even if we turn it down, I can tell you the city council will approve it.
Yeah, I mean, I want a smooth path, and I don't want to invest too much
that
money.
would
If
be
y'all
your-
are an
No.
absolute no, I would just, then I'm gonna
No,
figure something else out.
And I generally, but we have been burned, as John and Matt have said, there was a house on Sycamore Street that I worked with these people for 6 weeks, texting and sending pictures and back and forth, and, I really felt like I was,
Betrayed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Betrayed.
Not violent, but anyway,
I understand.
it was all for naught,
Well,
but
yeah, I get it.
yes, we're interested in having you rebuild something there. I can't speak for the commission, but we typically would, you got a good plan, I would ask that we can table this. You
Sure.
present us not just a request for demolition, but this is what I wanna build, that we approve that, and the reason we do this is because it, we gotta make sure you get some skin in the game.
Sure.
You pay for the building permit.
Right.
And that could be anywhere from a couple $100 to
A couple thousand.
1,000 or 2,000.
Yeah.
Problem, yeah.
And you
But-
have a set of plans that you've invested in.
Then then,
Yeah.
and then if you decide that, you know what, I snookered them, and you leave, at least,
Well, I have
you
no
know.
plans of that. I mean, I don't want to keep it in the
They
family for
they
sure.
have a different amount of skin in the game, as I wanna say.
yeah, well, if
Your,
it's a
your
family home.
grandparents had the home.
Yeah.
Your mother and father wanna live in the area. It's a family home. There's a little bit different than these people came in and bought this place and just, oh, we're gonna build a nice new home, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, now it's gone,
that-
and they're selling the lot.
That was
Happened to us before as well,
I understand.
twice.
It makes sense.
twice.
So, anyway, I've had the discussion, I'll open it to Patty, what,
I think, you know, I looked at some of the doors and, I mean, if they can use some of the doors and some of the things are, you know, that could
Maybe
inside,
repurpose.
outside, repurpose some of, I mean,
Yeah.
that would make, I mean, I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Termites frighten me to death. I mean, I'm really weird like that, but if you could reuse some of that and, you know, it could be a piece of that for
Piece of history.
your
I think
parents.
I think my
or-
mom would like
Yeah.
that too. So that's
Mhm.
great. Yeah, she's
The little
having
ones with the little French doors, the little knobs, it's really, I mean, you could reuse some of it, but I'm all,
You know,
Yeah.
my comment is that house down the block from you on St. George, termites do not like old wood that was back in 1860.
Mhm.
I'm telling you. We saw
It's
some
very-
full
it's
cut,
really hard.
full cut lumber in there that's just as nice as the day they rough cut it. It's still there.
John, we
but
gotta,
they
we gotta move on.
John, we
eat
gotta
Okay.
it.
Dave,
All right,
you
But
wanna-
basically,
They won't eat the
Matt?
cypress, but
Well-
but the add-ons is how they
Of course I
get
got
in there, 'cause
some.
that's
I
the
know.
house I had.
go ahead.
I don't wanna hold that. I'm gonna tell you that I've been under that, I went to that house a year ago and went underneath it. I was a contractor, I pre-built things way worse than that.
Okay.
The house is perfectly sound. I'm just telling you this, and there's a little back over there where the kitchen was on the back, you could take that off.
Mhm.
But the house itself, and even that porch and stuff, but I went into the foundation is good, that house is fine. I'm categorically and absolutely opposed to demolition of, especially of historic houses like that.
Okay.
That house, what I think, and my recommendation is that, and believe me, I'm not telling you what to do, but my recommendation, instead of spending your time and money getting an architect to build you, or draw a plan for a new house, you go to that house and have your architect look at it. Wyckoff does things like that, and look at that house and work around what you've got there. It'd be way cheaper,
Way
way
cheaper,
quicker.
way cheaper.
and renovations cost a lot of money, but new construction does too. I will make one other point and I'll quit. Y'all have owned that house for a long time. A lot of the reason that it is in the condition it's in is because you neglected, didn't fix the roof. Had you spent just a few $1,000s judiciously 10 years ago or 15 years ago and had the roof right and everything where it's not leaking and all that, and get the vines off of it, it wouldn't be in the condition it's in now. Now, that's neither here nor there, and sure as you do what you want with it, but I'm just saying that the condition of the property is a reflection of how y'all dealt with it up until this point. And now you're here at the historic district wanting to tear it down. And we are not in the tear down business here, we're in the renovation and restoration business. But anyway, that's just my.
I've taken all that in, and honestly, I kind of wanted to hear this. So now I'll just go to Plan B and let's figure out how to restore it if that's what y'all want. And I don't want to waste anybody's time or any money. And but it looks terrible. And I haven't been involved. It's been my parents' house for years.
But it's not
and
that bad a shape. I'm telling you, structurally, it's
Yeah.
not as bad as all that, except that room in
Matt?
the back.
Yeah.
Conversation, discussion. All right, I'm gonna suggest that it be tabled and allow this gentleman to,
I'll do some
look
work
at
on it.
alternatives.
Now that I'm involved, things can start moving
And
forward.
you know, though I'm not always easy to get a hold of, Mary Ann knows how to get a hold of me, and if I feel like you're gonna work with me in good faith, I will be more than happy to work with you. Just, when I talk to people and they say, well, what do you mean, what's a gable roof? I already know that maybe they need to get somebody that understands buildings.
Yeah.
And these two gentlemen are much more involved in industrial, rather commercial and residential. My background was heavy industrial, so, you know, I'm more of fill it up with rebar, leave some room for concrete, and we're gonna put a 6,000 horsepower motor on it, you know, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
right. Do y'all have a recommendation of somebody? Cause I'll get somebody to do some
We-
estimates on it
I
immediately.
yes, but we
recommend
cannot
myself,
do
but we
that.
can get it done, but I can't, I'd
We-
be too good to do it right now.
As
We'll
an
be happy, I'll be happy to come over there and
Yes,
walk through
you
the
can
house.
talk to these guys outside of this
And
meeting.
I'm retired, I was a licensed commercial contractor, but I'm retired, but I'll be happy to
We'll be
take
done
time
here in
to
a
do
minute, and I'll let you talk to
exactly
these guys outside of the
Okay,
meeting. As a
great.
commission, we will not make a recommendation because that's just inappropriate.
I
That's
understand.
plain and
That'd be
simple.
I assumed this.
But these guys can talk to you outside and
Mhm.
out, off the, so I need a recommendation, a motion that we table it and allow this gentleman to look at alternatives.
I make the motion that we allow the owner to investigate renovation rather than demolition.
Okay.
And come back to us with a plan.
Yeah.
To be reapproved.
Yeah, I'll look into both sides of it and see what we got.
At this
Okay.
time, no demolition
Okay.
is
No,
allowed.
That's,
Okay.
all right, so I have a motion by Mr. Bazoo, table it and allow the owner to investigate renovation versus demolition. I have a second by Ms. Patty. We vote the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very
Enough.
much, sir.
Thank you, appreciate
And
y'all.
Mary Ann knows how to get a hold of me. We're gonna move on because we have one that we put on the back burner, for 346 St. George Street. Is anyone here to represent that? That's for the addition of a carport to the, I said to the front of the house. It's actually on the side.
It's
It's right by that house.
Yes, it is. As
The-
a matter of fact, I want
The
to
car
cross
is
the street.
parked right there, and so they wanna add.
yeah, it's a little, just a little add-on carport to that little house. Doesn't look like there's much to it.
It looked pretty good. It just, that has lapboard wooden siding.
Yep.
So if any siding is added or replaced, it's gotta be lapboard wood siding.
It only looks like it's 3 posts and a roof.
And the roof, existing roof, is a high-profile OR panel.
They got 26 gauge metal roof. That means you gotta match it, huh?
You need to match the existing roof, even though that's not what we generally
Right.
approve. All right, do I have any further discussion? Do we wanna vote on it, or do we wanna table it?
They show vinyl soffit with hardy, plank fascia.
Oh, that's that soffit board, that's that.
I don't know why it requires a soffit board, to be honest with you.
Well, you're right.
On the carport?
On a carport, you don't need soffit.
Wasn't there a carport?
They have both half-inch plywood and vinyl
Yeah,
soffit.
you can.
There's a fence
They
and then.
can, it's
the
just to
car and the
close it off, but
fence.
it really, it's not, you can open tails and be fine.
Well, what they're presenting is okay, though, it's just
Isn't there a fence
unusual.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Take that little vinyl soffit off and make it either wood or hardy.
It's got a
your house
DG
have open
driveway.
rafters?
Oh, okay.
yeah,
If it has, yeah, I don't recall what the house looks like, but it's a little bitty thing.
it's a
with
little
the-
house, it's wooden, it is wood, lap wood siding.
Yeah.
It's
I
in-
will say this, look better, the carport was set back a little bit. I got to get it all
Yeah.
the way out to the front there.
Yeah, it looks
The
better.
car is to the front, yeah, and so.
That's not gonna look great.
Okay, so,
Where the entrance of the house is though, so you,
Plus, it's only 18 feet.
They may wanna be able to walk in the front under the
I got
carport,
that.
under
I
the
got that.
porch. That makes some sense there.
Is this a carport or is it a
Just
golf cart
just a
shed?
carport. It's a carport.
It's only 18 feet deep.
well, yeah, but it's 14 foot wide.
And
18
18's
foot.
not,
That's 18's most vehicles other than
Yeah.
big trucks.
plenty big enough.
20,
All right, if you wanna make it with stipulation, they disagree, they can come back.
I feel like I feel like you should have open rafters like.
Open
the main
rafters like the
Yeah,
house.
That's gonna be the only part I would change. And it may save them some money anyway.
Yeah.
And it needs to
match the roof on the house, and then,
Okay, but it needs to have open rafter tails to match the house.
just as a recommendation, can you add recommendation that the carport be at least 20 feet deep? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless you got overhang in the back of 2 feet, then that wouldn't be so bad.
Isn't there a fence right there?
Oh,
No,
I think, there's not a fence,
no, to the
it's
right,
right by that house.
to the right,
No,
Okay.
back.
in the back. Out of,
How could there
It's
be?
right
The
by-
lot- the
right
lot
by that
goes
house.
back.
yeah, the lot goes back though.
Okay,
we don't talk
recommend the
about
carport
sliding
be
it down.
20 foot long.
I looked at it.
What else?
There's
I gotta get
plenty of
Matt
room to
out of
build
here.
a
There's
shed
plenty
on the
room?
side.
Okay,
It's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna be, it'll be effective. But
utilitarian, yeah.
18 feet deep, I mean, that's pretty shallow, unless you're just gonna put
That's the length of my
Volkswagen
Suburban.
beetle.
Okay, yeah, that's,
Exactly the length of a pickup.
all right. And what about the louvered siding on the side of it that it shows?
Oh, where's that,
Second.
Oh, oh, yeah, that's fine.
As long as it's made out of wood.
Big louvers, you know, it's some either
Not
one,
wood.
Yeah, the next
6
page, I
is
got it.
Oh, yeah, right there.
That's fine.
that actually makes
Something next to that.
That'll be out of wood or hardy.
Roof metal to
That's
match
wood.
existing house.
Right.
All right, what I have is stipulations need to be open rafter tails to match the house. We would recommend the carport be 20 foot long. Not, I guess we can say we can recommend, but it's not,
Not necessary, but it's recommended.
not necessary.
And they might have
Not
little
killer.
colors, you know.
Metal roof to match existing, metal on roof,
whatever.
metal
the
on
roof
house.
is. I don't know what the roof is.
It's high profile or panel. And the louvered siding needs to be wooden louvered siding.
Wood or har, you can make it out of hardy too. They got the hardy plank, but out,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
probably cheaper just as a wood.
All right, any other stipulations?
No, I move we accept it as you.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Wessinger to accept the stipulation, the metal roof match, open rafter tails, that the louvered siding be wood or hardy, preferably wood, and that the carport could be 20 foot long, would be preferred. It's not required, but it is preferred. Can I get a second?
I guess.
Have a second by Mr. Bazoo. Vote the motion.
Aye.
Aye. Matt, you gotta get somewhere, 1:30, you better get going.
Don't we have this?
We have one more,
We got one more.
if you wanna stick around, you can. Let's look at it real quick. Is that you?
Yeah.
Yes.
606 North, and we have not looked at this, so
Battlelora, the Battlelora.
Yes,
I told
the old Battlelora.
Matt, you're familiar with this area. I'm gonna let Mr. Stifle have a discussion first.
I've been in the house and seen the porch, and you really, I mean, you're not even gonna see this really from the street.
No,
And it does make sense, having been there and looked at it, it just makes that bedroom on that side bigger. Yeah.
it does,
yeah.
yeah. There's not much
That
of a,
porch is so big.
the porch is huge, yeah.
This is the big house on the hill.
606 North
That's right next to that big lot that Rodney Core was trying to subdivide.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, you'd be
There's a
familiar.
big lot,
if you
there's
knew.
a big lot next door,
Yeah,
uh,
big open lot,
but that
That's a-
name doesn't sound
okay.
familiar.
Yeah.
and he was gonna subdivide it.
Oh, I hope,
It was the old.
oh, that's further down.
Okay, that's not
That's closer to
you.
downtown.
No,
Yeah.
if it was actually, you'd
Yeah.
know about it. Believe me.
Who's that? Yeah, I know exactly that, okay, I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's closer to,
Last
that's
house
on
standing.
Union,
Last house standing there.
Last house standing, yes.
Is this right next door to Vicky Nolet Motor?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no.
Right next door.
Yeah.
Do you, anybody need discussions or descriptions of what she's doing here?
I can run
Until
through
match.
what we're proposing to do. That's helpful. So we want to just enclose the back corner of the screened-in porch.
Mm-hmm.
And there's these beautiful sort of original openings that we'd like to, obviously, we need to fill in. The one on the back side of the house, we're proposing to infill with just stucco to match
the existing.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the side of the porch facing Miss Vicky's house, on the west side of the house would be, in order to maintain the visual nature of the screens, the way it's divided, we want to do glass to keep light into the space, but, so we'd maintain the same dimensions and divides as the existing screened-in porch, but they would be glass panels.
Okay.
And then on the front, on the actual porch side, we'd like to, because the actual house on that front side is, existing wood siding, we'd like to do that for that wall on the front. So it maintains the same aesthetic on the front side of the house.
Discussion?
But when you ride by after this is all done, it's gonna look
You won't even see
the
it.
same.
You won't even see it, yes, I mean,
The same as what is there right now.
Yeah,
Mostly
exactly.
interior changes.
Yeah, what
That
you're
is
doing
one
is
of the
not,
most
yeah, it's-
striking now.
It is. It's a really special house.
oh, yeah.
The Nolans
It
did
is.
a lot.
I believe how unbelievable it is.
I recommend we
As accepted, accept as
accept
proposed?
as is, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Patty to accept as proposed.
I'll second it.
Have a second by Mr. Matt Stifle. Vote the motion.
I,
Aye.
All right. Thank you
y'all
very
so
much.
Thank you.
Good when you got good complete plans.
Absolutely.
Mr. Wykoff, you didn't come to visit, I know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because Matt's gotta go. So do you
Yeah.
need Matt here?
Got 30
I,
seconds.
I don't think so. Okay, so last month I was unable to get to the meeting. I had previously.
Oh, that's
scheduled
right.
meeting,
And we gave
and,
you tentative
and
approval.
I thought we had
Thank
on the agenda, but apparently it was not, was the new youth ministry building for Our Lady of the Gulf Church and the connecting walkway. And so after that meeting, I circulated to you the
Yeah.
drawings for that. I
And I
think
think-
you have all
yes.
taken a look at that. I just wanted to verify that that was indeed the situation and be here in case you had any questions.
I'm glad
And
you
I
reminded.
think I
don't-
still,
We all
you
said
have the
We all said
application.
okay, Dave.
We all said
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I think I got your okay.
Yeah, no, but
You-
you,
Oh, okay. It's, they're matching at OLG, a little building back there, it's gonna match the existing stuff.
I have a couple
So
of,
where you
pla-
built
I have
here?
some plans here.
Show Dave. I don't know how I didn't get it to Dave. Yeah, Matt, you've already approved it as far as I know.
Yeah, go ahead. The church is here,
I,
Our Lady Academy, the main building is here, Johnson Hall is here, we're putting a new building
Next to
between
that.
Johnson Hall and the Crab Fest ground. And there's gonna be a walkway that connects all of that. This is the plan for the new building. The Our Lady Academy front entrance, which has been built, is this. We're connecting that with a walkway that matches the walkway that's on Union Street, and it goes over to the new building, which is,
How many square feet is all this?
the new building is 4,000 square feet, the walkway is probably, all told, maybe under 1,000.
It's a pretty good sized project.
It is, and so,
We need to,
I'm having an allergy attack.
that's okay. We need to make an official, even though we've given them approval, we need to make it at a motion and approve it at a meeting.
I move that we, accept the plans as submitted.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Dave Wessingham to accept as submitted. Have a second? Have a second by Mr. John Bazoo. Matt Stifle has already voted yay as he was walking out. Patty?
yay.
Yay. Okay, passed 5-0. Thank you, Ed. I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
you had to wait
Thank
the
you
whole
very
time.
much. Thank you. And again, if you guys have any questions as it proceeds, you know how to get.
Yeah, I know how to get a hold of you, buddy. And you know I'm shy. All right, any
Yeah.
other business to discuss?
No.
No, I think we've talked to everybody. I usually try.
What about this? We'll have 102 Carroll.
That's the one demolition,
Oh, that's table.
the first.
Yes,
That's
okay.
table.
All right, we get a motion.
Okay.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Dave Wessinger.
Second,
Second.
Okay, I got a second by
Everybody
Ms.
second.
Patty.
okay.
Vote the motion.
I'd
Aye.
like to come see your house. If you don't
Pass.
mind.
No, Dave made the motion.
Dave made a
Sorry,
motion.
Dave made the motion, Patty seconded,
I seconded.
pass
Yeah, that's
4-0.
Okay.
I've admired that. That is.
Almost
That's
wanted-
amazing, we got through all 9 of them, plus an extra, plus
Hour and a
2
half.
In
Hour and a
space.
I wanted to buy it before the Nolans.
Well, we didn't have anybody that wanted to
I love that.
argue.
And I like this man, I'm gonna talk to him.
Yes, please do, like I say, we cannot,
Yeah.
it's very inappropriate for us to recommend contractors,
from the back.
architect, anybody
They
from
kept
this
going
board
just
now.
across the-
John Bazoo, can go and talk to
But
him
Vicky
as
had,
John Bazoo and say, these
Vicky
are the
started
guys who do that kind of
building
stuff.
crossings.
Right.
I live on the
That's
railroad
fine.
track on,
But
Railroad
not while we're
Avenue.
sitting up at this board, we will
Right
not make
corner
recommendations.
of Second and Eastbrook was the big house, they're right across the
Structure and on this
cemetery. Anyway, Vicky had the building across from us, and we became friends and everything.
Well,
And I know all the
what they
aesthetics, I
say
know.
is true.
Yeah. Well, she's spending time, I guess, there. She did a big job. They did a lot of work on
Termites
it.
don't touch
She didn't.
Well, the
finish.
thing
But
is
there's
that the
stuff
termites,
that they
well,
do
so,
touch.
I
yeah,
didn't,
so,
I didn't say
like,
anything
our
about it.
house
She
was
had a crew out there
cypress,
working on it.
but
So,
if they have an
did-
add-on,
redid the party
they will
board.
eat that
finished
add-on,
it.
and they go to cypress.
Then they'll get the
They'll
stuff they
get the
don't like
cypress.
as
I
much.
know, they will.
But if you're brazen
Yeah.
enough, you just
So,
go ahead and do crap. People say,
Go
oh, well,
ahead.
they
Yeah,
must
they
have,
will,
they,
'cause
you know, when I
the
question
info
that,
was
it's not like they were hiding. But it was,
Floods, back in the 20s.
yeah, well, her
20,
mother,
100 years ago,
her mother,
before they built levees,
if she's still
and they would buy
you
it,
know,
they would get the old cypress and cut
and
it.
then,
Termite wouldn't
yeah,
bother. Now you get
somewhere, and then
he bought,
Vicky
he got some
husband